So Opthea is a public company founded out of Australia, but we are listed on both the NASDAQ and the Australian Exchange. And as such, I will be making forward-looking statements as part of this presentation. So our asset, sozinibercept, has the potential to be the first to actually be able to provide superior visual outcomes for wet AMD patients in almost 20 years. I'll take you through our phase 2B study results along with our phase 3 trial design and give updates along the way. So we've heard a lot about the PAT survey and some of the PAT survey results at this meeting. I'll join the club. Obviously, our most recent PAT survey here in 2024, when asked which factors are more important to you when selecting an anti-VEGF-A therapy, top box score was being able to improve vision gains and maintain vision gains. We've also heard a lot about the unmet needs within the wet AMD marketplace. Those patients that don't achieve superior vision or don't achieve optimal vision, but also a lot of conversation about the loss of vision over time for treatment-experienced patients. And it's not just quality of life, but it's also quantity. We've also heard a lot discussed at this meeting about mortality rates. And what's really interesting, and this does highlight the point that every letter of vision matters. Even the decrease of one letter a year has a mortality risk of 16%. As we look at the current landscape within wet AMD, there's some really terrific current treatments out there. And there's a lot of exciting things in development. Most of the things in development are really focused on durability and trying to relieve that treatment burden, and rightly so. But at Opthea with sozinibercept, we are focused on providing better visual outcomes and maintaining those visual outcomes. So as I mentioned, sozinibercept is a VEGF-C&D trap. And obviously, with the inhibition of VEGF-A, there's an upregulation of VEGF-C&D. So in combination with VEGF-A therapies, we can block both the VEGF receptors 2 and 3. We also wanted to understand the aptitude, or at least the willingness, to go a combination therapy approach within the retina community. This is a market research of 125 retina specialists. We really wanted to test the lower boundaries of would you use combination therapy, and at what point and what letter would it be beneficial within your practice to use. What was really encouraging is that even the lower groups of a single letter, up to 5+ letters, a significant amount of retina specialists would use combination therapy to give patients a better visual opportunity. Sozinibercept obviously is currently in our phase 3 program. I'll share that with you in just a minute. We're excited about the opportunity to share those results. Top-line results are expected in Q2 of next year, but we also have a DME program that will be phase 3 ready in mid-year next year. And we've also got a co-formulation program with sozinibercept and a VEGF-A in a single injection. As we look at our phase 2B trial, it was with ranibizumab. It was randomized across a low-dose sozinibercept in combination with ranibizumab and a 2 milligram. You can also see this is a very robust phase 2B trial. This is 366 patients. We hit our primary endpoint, being able to show superior visual acuity for these patients at a half a line of vision over ranibizumab alone. But we wanted to understand who were the best visual gainers in this phase 2B trial. And as we looked at that, we saw that the occult and lesion patients had a line of vision better in this combination approach with sozinibercept over ranibizumab monotherapy. And then when we looked at the total patient population RAP absent, you see just slightly more than a half a line of vision gain with sozinibercept over ranibizumab monotherapy. By the way, this subpopulation here of RAP absent represents about 90% of the wet AMD market. And even the occult minimally classic patient represents about 75% of the total wet AMD market. When we look at this across a color bar, each color and grouping obviously represents visions gained. This top bar is sozinibercept plus ranibizumab. The bottom is ranibizumab monotherapy. You see the total patient population shifts to the right of better. And so even on the extremes, if you look to the far extremes of 30+ letters gained, significantly more patients with sozinibercept plus ranibizumab had extreme vision increase. And even on the lower end, you can see that where there was vision loss, there was less vision loss, significantly less vision loss than ranibizumab monotherapy. Looking at our safety data from our phase 2 trial, it was well tolerated and comparable to standard of care monotherapy with the anti-VEGF-As. Our phase 3 trial is a very large, almost 1,000 patients in each of our phase 3 program trials here. Our COAST trial is with aflibercept, and so we have aflibercept as a control. We have sozinibercept in combination with aflibercept, both Q4 and Q8 dosing. Again, that'll read out in Q2 of next year, and it's got a primary endpoint of vision efficacy endpoint at 52 weeks. The same trial design is in SHORE, which is with ranibizumab. So in summary, we've got a lot of really nice milestones coming up for us, inflection points, if you will, in Q2 of next year. We've got drug supply. Our PPQ validation was completed in September this year. We have another one early this year, or early next year, so our CMC processes are doing really well. And we've also got FDA Fast Track designation, which, as you know, allows us to have a rolling submission of completed BLA modules. And we're building, I'm glad they put this in here, we're building our commercial readiness. So we have a lean, mean team of 3 in our commercial organization right now in preparation for top line, but those 3 actually have about a half a century of retina commercialization experiences across 5 different launches within retina. So we're excited about the future and really more excited about the opportunity to bring better visual outcomes to wet AMD patients. Thank you for your time.